Hey guys, so welcome to How to Lose Weight, a functional medicine approach. I am Dr. Nicole Peoples, and today I'm going to unlock all the secrets that you need to know about sustainable weight loss and how to do this from a functional medicine perspective. In other words, how to get to the root cause of why you're gaining weight and the root cause of how to lose weight. So let's jump right in. So I'm Dr. Nicole Peoples. I'm a board certified physician in internal medicine, but I specialize in integrative and holistic and functional medicine. So essentially, I take the best of conventional medicine and alternative medicine and I mix it together to get to the root cause of your symptoms. And I do that in very practical ways in which your lifestyle is your healing process. And so we are going to talk today about what things in your lifestyle that you can adjust, how to adjust it, and why you should adjust it to optimize your weight. So, in addition to all of that, I am a mother of three. I am married for the past 14, almost 15 years at this point, and I specialize in an area um, of hormones and longevity. So, again, all the things that we're going to talk about today are not just good for your weight, but good for your overall health, your longevity, and for balancing your hormones. So, do you lose weight to get healthy, or do you get healthy to lose weight? That's sort of a question that I think comes up when people are talking to me as a doctor. They're wondering, well, I should lose weight so that I can get healthy. And my philosophy is that you really want to get your body healthy so that you can lose weight. And that comes from the thought that when you get to the root cause of illness, if you get to the root cause of medical issues, then medical issues can't develop, that you are treating the underlying cause of things, and that is what's preventing you from gaining weight or um, developing any illness. And I'll explain that a little bit more in a moment. But I want to first start off by telling you about one of my patients. This is a 42-year-old female who has two kids and an autoimmune condition. Her labs were all normal, but she just wanted to feel the way she felt before she had kids. She wanted more energy, she wanted to lose this extra weight, and she wanted to improve her overall health. So this is a common presentation for people who work with me is that, they could be on one of two spectrums. They could have a chronic illness that they're really trying to reverse, or they could be relatively healthy, but they're not feeling their best. And they're going to the doctor and they're saying, hey, everything is normal. Why do you keep telling me everything is normal when I don't feel normal? So this particular client, in doing a 6-week program with me, she says, I'm feeling great. I honestly didn't realize how bloated I was. I've lost 20 pounds, no bloating, thicker hair, clearer skin. My autoimmune condition significantly improved in the first few weeks without any medications. I'm sleeping better and I feel like I'm more in control of my cravings and health. And so, one of the great things about treating the root cause of medical issues is that even if you come saying that I want to lose weight, really you'll find that you will get so many other benefits because you're treating the root, not just the problem or the symptom. So, what were we taught about weight loss? And I think we were all pretty much taught something very similar. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this better. So, this idea that there's calories in and calories out, this is the prevailing thought on weight loss, right? So, if you eat less, exercise more, you should be able to lose weight. But if you are anything like me and you are anything like the patients that I treat, you've tried this and it hasn't worked. So I'm going to explain to you why it hasn't worked and what you can do instead. All right, so we'll talk about really quickly what is the conventional approach to weight loss, right? So you want to count calories, or if you've been in a program before, like Weight Watchers, you might be counting points. You have intense exercise. You might be taking, special shakes and supplements. And then if that doesn't work, then we're moving up to pharmaceutical drugs like Ozempic, or maybe even surgery like gastric bypass. So this is sort of the conventional approach. The question is there more you can be doing, or is there something different you could be doing that's more effective? So I would argue with you that sustained weight gain is a symptom. It's a symptom of something else going on. And I want you to get a better understanding of this by looking at one of my favorite graphs of all time. So, this is essentially my approach to medicine. And up at the top, you see a tree. And whenever you have a tree, all of the leaves that you see and the fruit that that tree bears is all that you could see from the tree. But it doesn't explain to you why the tree, if the tree is healthy or not. and doesn't explain to you why the tree is healthy or not, right? So if you have a diseased tree, then you'll have diseased leaves, diseased fruits. If you have a healthy tree, it might bloom and flourish. And all of that is the result of whatever's going down on in the roots. This is just the way nature works. And this is honestly the way that our medical system works as well. So this is an analogy for diseases. So what you see are the diseases in the tree, right? You see the diabetes, the obesity, the asthma. These are the diagnoses that your doctor may have prescribed you with. And these are just the symptoms of something going on deeper down in the roots. And so really what we want to do is if we treat what's happening in the roots, in the soil of the tree, then what manifests is affected throughout the entire body, right? So it affects how you present in the world. So really our goal is to address what's in the roots. So what's in the roots? We see inflammation, stress, poor diet, trauma, genetics, poor relationships, lack of sleep, toxins, hormone imbalance, nutrient deficiencies, lack of movement, gut imbalances, toxic thoughts, poor digestion, and energetic imbalances. So these are the actual causes of the diseases that you see up above. And if you treat the cause, then all of these diseases are affected in a way that is either preventative or reversible. So what's interesting about this is that the same things that are at the root cause of health and wellness that prevent disease are the same causes of weight gain. So again, the conventional thought here is that we just need to treat your diet and we need to make sure you move more, right? But there are all these other things that are affecting your weight gain that if you're not addressing, you're missing a huge part of this process. And so the question is how do I affect these things, right? What is the best strategy to address this? And is it really something that you can impact in a way that will impact your weight? So I always tell people that the way you do this is to prescribe health, right? So unlike the conventional treatment where we say, okay, I just want you to eat less, work out more, I'm going to give you some pills, I'm going to give you Ozempic, and then if that doesn't work, I'm going to take you to surgery. That is really just trying to treat the symptoms, right? But if you're really trying to treat the root, you've got to start to talk about how do you prescribe weight loss from a holistic perspective that treats the root causes of weight loss. And so this is the program or the framework that I use in my practice. So I'm going to briefly explain it to you. I call it the People's Life Prescription. And it has 7 components or life prescriptions. And the reason this is broken down this way is that what I wanted to do is I wanted to take all of the science, I wanted to take all of the knowledge that we have about weight loss and convert that into actionable items, things that you can actually do, things that you can act on that will improve your overall health and your weight. And so there are 7 pillars here. There's personal life, which is about intention and motivation, what drives you. And then there's food life, which is about food, right? Not just about what to eat, but the quality of the food that you eat, when to eat, how long to eat for, the amount that you eat. So it includes everything food. Sleep life is one of my favorite because it's one of the most overlooked, but also the most adjustable of all of these, which is optimizing your sleep and understanding the impact that sleep has on weight loss. Fitness, obviously, we've talked about, or you've probably heard about at length, but it's not just going to the gym. It's not just working yourself out until you pass out. It's really about all of the things that are involved in movement and how much you move and when to move. So we could we can delve deeper into these topics. Connected life has to do with your environment. It's who you're surrounded with. It's the people who support you. This is hugely important in weight loss and in health in general. Detox life, oh my gosh, this is again one of my favorite because it's one of those things that gets overlooked. So when we're talking about the quality of the foods that you're eating, when we're talking about the toxins that you're exposed to in your environment, if we're talking about your body's ability to detoxify, This is all about detox life, and it really gets to the root cause of why a lot of people have difficulty losing weight, or they hold on to weight like their life depended on it. And then resilient life is by far the most important. It is the way that we manage stress. I can't tell you how many clients and patients I've seen in my life where stress was the cause, right? It wasn't a pill that I could give them that would relieve their stress. There wasn't any special surgery that would address this root cause of illness and weight gain. And so when we address stress, we address so many hormonal imbalances. It's the impact is amazing. So let's talk a little bit about another patient of mine. And so this is a woman who was postmenopausal, well into her late 60s or early 70s. And she, had been really active when she was young and had a great figure, had great health. But as she got older, she noticed that, her blood pressure was a little high. She was gaining a little bit of extra weight around the midsection. And all of her old tricks, everything that she used to do, was no longer working for her. And then she started to work with me, and she says, I'm feeling great. The inflammation is gone. The headache's gone. I feel lighter, freer, and slimmer. I'm like, I need to continue this because I don't have the aches and pains that I had before. And she also goes on to say that Dr. Peoples Dr. Peoples' teaching reminds me of the lost wisdom of our foremothers, the wisdom of knowing how to listen to your body and respond with compassion and action. And I love this quote because it's really my intention is to really help women to tap back into that knowledge that has been there. A lot of the things that I recommend aren't things that you may not have heard before, but you may not have known how to implement, or you have had this knowledge passed on from your great grandmother or something like that, and you didn't know how it applied to this modern lifestyle that you're in right now. And so this approach to health and wellness really addresses those issues. Oh, and I should also point out that you can see, I'll blow this up for us, that her weight dropped from 190 pounds down to 166, and she's still losing to this day. All right, so how do you balance your hormones for sustained weight loss? So this is a step-by-step process that I walk patients through. And I want you to get a good sense of what each of these areas means and what happens in each of these. But the first, I'll just walk through it and then we'll go through each one step by step. So you want to avoid foods that cause inflammation in your body. So remember, when we talked about root causes, it's not just about the foods that you're eating by saying eat less. It's about the quality of the foods that you're eating and how they interact with your body. And I want to say that, directly to you, how it responds to your body, not to everyone else. So I know there's always the question of what's the best diet? What's the best diet for weight loss? It's going to vary from person to person, but there are some key factors that if you followed these, that you would figure out what the ideal diet is for you. And the ideal diet for you has to do with foods that cause inflammation in your body or hormonal imbalances versus foods that do not. And so understanding which foods do that is hugely important so that you can devise or create a diet that's perfect for you. The second step here is eat enough real food. So it's not about eating less, it's about eating the right foods, right? And obviously, this is not a new concept to you, but understanding what those right foods are, why they're good for you, and how they help you lose weight is really beyond calories. And this is a myth I've been trying to dispel for years, is that this idea that calories are all that matter. And they're not. It's about eating real whole foods. So we'll talk about that in just a second. The next one is calming your nervous system. So I told you guys before in the People's Life prescriptions that resilient life is based around stress. And stress has to do with your hormones. And if you don't manage stress well, your hormones rev up and then they cause you to retain weight. I would love to go into how this all scientifically works, but what you need to know is that taking actions to improve your stress response, calms your nervous system and has a huge impact on your ability to lose weight. The next one is to avoid or eliminate toxins. We'll talk a little bit about this. Optimizing sleep. We talked about sleep life. That's another huge component to optimizing your sleep. That's when your body does all of its brain detoxification and allows your body to get the energy it needs to burn fat. And then social support, that's all about connected life. So remember, I showed you that diagram, the People's Life prescriptions. And if you look between these life prescriptions and the strategy for balancing your hormones, you'll see that there's a lot of overlap. That's because we are using the prescription to tailor a program that allows you to live a life where weight can't stay on and you can optimize your health. So let's jump into the first one, eliminating pro-inflammatory foods. So again, this is not about calories, it's about quality. It's about the quality of the foods that you're eating and understanding what causes inflammation in your body. So I broke this up into two sections. So everyone, if you're trying to lose weight or optimize your health, you want to eliminate processed foods, refined or added sugars, artificial sweeteners, and trans fats. Now, these are, as a category, is my everyone. Everyone, it doesn't matter who you are, if you can do this as a first step to optimizing your health, you will have a huge impact. Now, when you get over to personalized, this has to do with foods that your body may be specifically reactive to. So you might have an inflammatory response to gluten, per se. And I know a lot of people talk about gluten, and a lot of people don't understand what gluten is, why you would remove it. But it's a protein in wheat, barley, and rye that actually can cause inflammation and cause something called leaky gut. And that can have a huge impact on your weight, the inflammation in your body, as well as your ability to resist autoimmunity. So autoimmune diseases like hypothyroid issues or type 1 diabetes, etc. So gluten is a very important one. It's usually at the top of my list. If you haven't tried to eliminate gluten, but you're assuming that you are not gluten sensitive, I would first say do the first step by eliminating gluten and see how your body responds. Other very common ones are dairy, which can be very pro-inflammatory for a lot of people, not just because of dairy intolerance or lactose intolerance, but for other reasons, because it can cause mucus to develop in the body and really can cause havoc for your skin and for your energy level. So dairy is another popular one. So things like beans, nuts, eggs, corn, wheat, soy, and well, I'll say these next six actually may be a great and healthy part of some people's lifestyle, but in other people, they may have reactions to it that cause inflammation. And so again, getting rid of these foods for a short time and figuring out, does my body respond better off or on these foods? Now the last one, alcohol, I put under personalized instead of everyone because I know that alcohol is a common consumed beverage for many people. And it's not necessarily bad for everyone. That's sort of technical. I could make the argument that alcohol is a toxin and it is bad for everybody at some degree. But the reality of the situation is that with alcohol, not everyone is going to have as great of adverse reaction as others. And so really understanding how alcohol works in your body and the impact that it has on your body is going to be really important. So I put that under personalized, not everyone, because I too enjoy a glass of wine or a cocktail every once in a while and still find it to be a very balanced lifestyle. So the next one was eating enough real food, right? So what does that mean? So that means focusing on whole foods. Again, not calories, focusing on the quality of the foods that you eat. So for example, when you go out to eat, the question that I always ask myself, is there enough color on my plate? So if everything is brown and white because you've only got bread, rice, potatoes, meat, and you have no diversity of color with, maybe orange carrots or red peppers or green broccoli or kale. If you're not getting those colors, then you're not getting enough real food, and your body needs real food to lose weight. It needs the nutrients and the micronutrients that come out of vegetables and fruits for it to actually lose weight. So optimizing and eating enough of these types of foods is essential to having a healthy life, but also a balanced weight. And so you want to think about when you're in the grocery store, when you're choosing the foods that you want to eat, you want to think, okay, how much of what I'm putting in this grocery basket or how much of what I'm eating is actually a whole food versus a processed food? So understanding the difference between those two is going to be really important. And then making the decision at each time that you decide to go shopping or purchase food, that you're going to choose with your fork, choose your health, your quality of life with your fork, then by deciding what you're going to eat, and having that be based in whole foods, it's going to be the most important thing. So the one thing I try to think about is, was this food a plant previously? Did it eat plants, or was it made in a plant, right? So that's just my easy way of trying to figure out, is this a whole food? So if it's a plant and it looks like a plant and it is still in the form of a plant, meaning broccoli is broccoli, it's broccoli. Even if you make broccoli soup out of it, it's still broccoli, right? Broccoli soup would be a more processed form, but the extreme of that would be like broccoli chips, right? Where those fruit snacks, or not the fruit snacks, the veggie sticks, that's not actually a real food. That is made in a plant. It is not actually broccoli. It is edible substances that have green dye in them. Not the same thing as broccoli. So understanding the spectrum. Another example, just if you need one, is like apples, right? You go outside, you pick an apple from a tree, it's an apple. You buy it from the grocery store, it's still an apple. You cut it up and you eat it with almond butter, it's still an apple. It's a little bit more processed once you start cutting it, but it's still an apple. You put it in a skillet with some butter and some cinnamon and a little bit of sugar, and it's still apple. It's a little bit more processed than just eating the apple straight off the tree, but it's still an apple. You're still eating a whole food. But then, if you were to get an apple tart, like a Pop-Tart, or Apple Jacks, which is cereal, those are processed. It's not an apple, no matter what the box says, right? So understanding the difference between processed food and whole foods is going to be essential to you being able to have the right nutrients in your diet. Okay. So calming your nervous system, I talked about this before. And in the 5-pound challenge that I do, we talk about how to address some of these areas. And it's a combination of sort of personal life and resilient life. It's calming your nervous system. So getting into a place where you are working on your forgiveness, gratitude, self-love, affirmations to yourself, giving yourself compassion, remembering it's all about the progress and not perfection. And then actually adopting behaviors like deep breath work or meditation can also be really valuable in improving your nervous system. So again, this is a huge component towards weight loss, because when your body is stressed, without going into too much detail, but when your body is stressed, it increases a hormone named cortisol, which then increases a hormone called insulin, which is the fat storage hormone. So if you didn't understand how stress was related to your weight, it is directly related through your hormones. All right, so avoiding and eliminate toxins. So there is an entire toxic category called obesogens. These are toxins that we know are in the environment that cause obesity or make it really difficult for you to lose fat or to burn fat. And so these obesogens are all around us. And so the question is can you avoid as many of them as possible and help your body to eliminate the ones that get into your body? Now, there's no way for us to avoid all toxins. That's just a fact of life. We were born with toxins in our bodies. That's just because so many of the toxins we're exposed to are persistent in our environment and they don't go away. But it doesn't mean that we can't do something about it. How do we get rid of these obesogens? So we can start by eating as many things as we can or organically. So you can actually go to a website called the Environmental Working Group, or EWG.org, and you can actually look up the foods that have the most pesticides in them and the ones that have the least pesticides. This list is called the Dirty Dozen versus the Clean 15. So that's a great way to start in deciding what you should buy organic and what you can get away with the conventional realms of it. Avoiding things like plastics. So plastic bottles, start eating and drinking out of glass or stainless steel. Don't microwave in plastic. So there's a ton of different ways to sort of avoid plastics and plasticizers that have obesogens in them. And then product detox. And what that means, it means household cleaners, it means the products that you use for your beauty, so your makeup, your shampoo, all of these uh, products contain chemicals that act as obesogens or endocrine disruptors. So you want to do that. So this is just a great way to start to avoid toxins. But you also want to help your body eliminate toxins. So I talked a lot earlier about eating plants. Well, the value of eating plants is that it has the nutrients that your body needs to actually detoxify. And so I know a lot of people, they focus on, when they think about detoxing, they think about, having like a juice detox. But really, your body needs nutrients to detoxify, right? It's not just about eliminating these toxins through, your stool or your urine. It's about what your body needs to do to break those toxins down so that they can be eliminated. And the only way to do that is to eat nutrients. And where do you get nutrients from? Whole foods, specifically plants. Drinking lots of water is really important to help flush your system out. Making sure you're having a bowel movement every day. You don't know how many people I know who don't have a bowel movement every day, may not have a bowel movement every week. And this just really helps back up those toxins in your body. And then also sweating. Sweating is another way of getting rid of toxins. So that's either by, exercising or going to a sauna. So there are lots of ways to get rid of toxins. The next one is optimizing your sleep. Again, I alluded to this earlier, but the impact of sleep is huge in weight loss. If you are a person who has been eating all the right things, doing all of the right things, but you aren't sleeping at night, this could be a huge hindrance for your weight loss, because sleep helps to balance your hormones. Specifically, that stress hormone I talked about, cortisol, earlier, and melatonin. Those need to be in balance. Melatonin is the hormone that rises at night to help you sleep. And so if you are doing things like having bright light in your eyes late at night, you're eating too close to bedtime, you don't have a sleep routine to help you transition from your day to night, these sorts of things can cause havoc with your hormones. It inhibits your ability to fall asleep, and then you find yourself laying in the bed for hours not being able to sleep. And then also, if you are doing things like eating too close to bedtime or eating the wrong foods at night, that can also cause you to wake up in the middle of the night. So there are lots of things that we can do to help optimize your sleep. I encourage people to do a few things. Create a sleep schedule. So a time that you go to bed at night and a time that you wake up, and try to keep to that 80% of the time so your body gets used to when you're supposed to be sleeping. Developing a sleep routine, that's whatever you do to transition from your daytime to your nighttime. Think, what do you do for kids? You can do it for yourself. Bedtime story, a nighttime bath, etc. Diurnal lighting, that just basically means avoiding bright lights at night and making sure you're getting sun exposure first thing in the morning. Design your sleep space, so making sure that where you go to sleep is comfortable. Do you have a good mattress? Do you have good sheets, good pillows? Does it feel comfortable? Is the temperature cool enough? You don't want it too hot when you're trying to get to sleep. Making sure you don't eat too close to bedtime, and then if you need botanicals to help you sleep. So if you can avoid taking things like Ambien or Zestoril or any of those sleep aids and really replacing it with botanicals, you may find that those are more effective without the side effects. So social support, that's all about connected life. It's about the people you surround yourself. It's about community. This has a huge impact. We find that people who are healthy and they are around healthier people, they tend to be healthier. So you want to find a friend group, some sort of outlet where you are getting supported to follow these behaviors so that they become not only just normal for you or natural or second nature, but it's second nature for everyone. So nobody's looking at you crazy for eating well or exercising or going to bed on time. That everybody in your circle or that other people in your circle support you in that. So I want to tell you about Ty. This is another one of my patients, 50-year-old woman who's had challenges losing weight and keeping it off for years. She eats really well. She exercises, almost daily, but she continues to have, sustainable weight loss, means sustained weight around her midsection, and just hasn't been able to lose weight. And although she enjoys working out, she doesn't like doing it and not losing weight, right? So she says, I can honestly say after just 4.5 weeks in Dr. Peoples' program, I feel like I did when I was in my 30s. My body hasn't felt this good in years, and my knee pain and swelling are resolved. So she had also had a knee surgery right before the program and had swelling for over a year. which it resolved at the end of this program. So again, it's not just about the weight, it's about all of the health benefits you get when you are treating the root. So I want to take the last few minutes to tell you a little bit about what it's like to work with me, because obviously you can take all of the suggestions that I've given you here today and do this, and I encourage you to. But if you want additional support, I created a program specifically for that. It's called the Black Women's Guide. And this program is open to everyone. It's not just for Black women, but it's really designed because I know the impact that poor health has had disproportionately on African American women. And so I want women of color to understand that there are things you can do to improve your health and that there's a community for you. But we welcome everyone, anyone who's interested in optimizing their health and their weight in this program. So what is it? It's an 8-week online course. Essentially, it's a course that you, once you sign up, you will get all the information you need to complete. But there's so many other benefits other than just this is what you have to do. And I'll say this about the program is that I have created it in such a way that I feel like it's turnkey, that you can follow it with or without me, but I think it is more effective when you do it in concert with us. So I'll tell you about the other parts of it that make the program even more effective. So we do weekly live Q&As. So essentially it's a group program. So you get the information about how to start. You get all the information you need. I walk you through it. And then every week you get opportunity to be with me and my health coach for 1 hour every week to go over, make sure that you're doing it right, make sure that we're answering your questions, and make sure that you understand all of the logistics so that you're not out here just trying to figure it out on your own. You've got the support of not just me, not just my health coach, but other women who are on the same journey as you. But you also get one-on-one health coaching with the health coach to help personalize the program towards you. You get an online manual that goes over everything that you need to know along with the recipes. You get direct messaging. So if you have questions at any point during this 8 weeks, you can reach out to me and the health coach and we'll get back to you. And then we also have a closed Facebook group where we post our pictures of our food, where we talk about different strategies to be used, and where you can continue to ask questions and get ongoing support throughout the entire program. So what happens if you join? So you get safe and rapid permanent weight loss. For those of people who are interested in weight loss. And this talk is specifically about weight loss. But again, when we treat the root cause, you actually get other benefits. So even if you're not interested in losing weight, the program can be tailored so that you could get all the health benefits and maintain the weight that you are currently at. But you also want to look and feel your best. You want more vibrant energy. You want deep and restful sleep, greater mental clarity, more confidence, better digestion, lower stress levels, feel more peaceful and grateful, have balanced blood sugar, and a greater self-love and self-care. Now, that may seem like all in one program. I think this is just a weight loss program. Again, I can't overemphasize that when you treat the root cause of health, the root causes of health, then all of these other things benefit as well. So is this program right for you? So this program isn't right for everybody, right? Because if you are just interested in a quick fix, you just want a pill to help you lose your weight, this is not the program for you. This is for people who really want to lose weight by getting to the root cause. They want sustainable changes in their life, not just in a pill. They want to feel better. They want to age smarter. They want to have more energy, better sleep. They want to have balanced hormones, and they want to stop guessing about what's going on in their body. And they want to be in a healing community. They want to be surrounded by other people who are going to help and support them in that process. So if you're just, trying to lose weight for a wedding, or you are trying to just, get yourself right for some event, this program is still good for you, but you have to come in knowing that we are looking for sustainable weight loss. We're looking for sustainable health. And this process is going to help you get there. So here are some myths that I want to go over before I close. So common things that I hear. I've tried everything. Well, I have heard this over and over and over again. And it's always interesting what people think everything is, right? And really having a clear understanding that's science-based, that's been evaluated and designed by a physician who has seen everything is really helpful. And so I guarantee you that, and if you were to talk to anyone who's done this program or look at any of the testimonials, you'll hear that people who have come into this program realize things about their health and their bodies that they just never could have imagined. So for those people who feel as though they've tried everything, you've been on Weight Watchers, you've done the shakes, you've done the workout programs, you've joined the gym, and you feel like you've done everything, I encourage you to at least book a discovery call so that we can talk about what other things might be missing in your strategy. I don't have time is the next one, right? So myth number 2. So, one of the things I try to emphasize about time is that I don't have time to be sick. That's one thing that I learned personally in my own life. When my energy is low, when my mood is bad, when I am in or out of the hospital, when I'm taking medications, any of those things take up more time than what we are going to be doing in this program. And at what point in time do we decide to put our health first? And so the other thing I think about oftentimes is how much time have I spent on my education, on my relationships with my children. I give all of my time there, and I have very little time left over for myself. So I encourage people to really carve out some time so that you can really focus on you and your health, and really understand that that will give you more time in the long run. And this doesn't really take a whole lot of time out of your day. This is really just about doing the things that you're already doing. You're already eating, you're already sleeping, you're already moving. The question is, can we optimize that? And so learning strategies to optimize what you're already doing doesn't take any more time. And you might find that you actually gain some time when you structure things in a specific way. And then the last thing is I can figure this out on my own. That's myth number 3. And that is absolutely true. There is nothing stopping you. We live in an information era. You can get on YouTube, you can get on any social media platform, and there will be people who will give you all kinds of information, right? The question is whether or not you want to do it on your own. Do you want to figure it out on your own? And are you sure that the information you're getting is quality and science-based? So what I've tried to do in this program is distill a lot of that confusion down, really formalize a process for you that is implementable, actionable, and effective. So that's what this program is about. And if you're interested in being prescribed health for your weight loss or getting a lifestyle prescription for your weight loss, then I encourage you to go to this website, www.blkwomansguide.com. That's blackwomensguide.com. Black is spelled BLK, and women's has an A, not an E. So if you're interested, you go to this website. It will tell you all about this program that I've designed specifically for you. And it will give you some links to either sign up or to book a discovery call with you. I encourage you to book a discovery call. This is a free consultation that I do for you to help you understand what's the best next step for you. So please, if you have any questions, the best place to find me is on social media at Dr. Nicole Peoples. That's Facebook or Instagram. And you can book a discovery call with me from this website, theblackwomansguide.com. All right, you guys, this has been awesome, and I look forward to talking with you guys soon.